to Around the World and Back, the segment of our podcast where we talk about the latest current events happening around the world. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn something new. So welcome to Around the World and Back. So today I want to talk about, we were talking about Juneteenth and things like this, and we were talking about Abraham Lincoln. And when we were freed, we were promised 40 acres and a mule. Well, the thing was, some people, about 1,250 people that they could find, was actually sought out and they picked their plots of land. They had this land for about a year. They formed governments. They had officials. They were having crops. They were selling them in Savannah, Georgia, Savannah, doing all of this. Then all of a sudden, Abraham Lincoln got assassinated. And these people, like I said, only had their land for a year. So once he got killed, their land got took from them. Like, some people had 40 acres, some people had up to 40 acres. But everything they did, their government, everything that they had started building was taken. And at the time, Vice President Andrew Johnson, unknowing to most people, white supremacists, he was like, I'm not with it. I'm with these other people who had this land before. I'm going to veto this and I'm going to give them their land back. So they took it. And we never got what we were supposed to because of Andrew Johnson. They were on the way of doing it, but if Abraham Lincoln hadn't gotten assassinated, it would have probably kept going. We would have got some of the things that we were supposed to get. But because of them like yanking it back, they weren't able to give it to us. So they found like land on the coast that's supposed to be ours. And this is like a documentary that's on PBS. It was on NewsHour. And it's called, the lady was talking about her documentary is called 40 Acres and a Lie. Because today, if we were to have like the property and everything where they have, 40 acres will be worth $2.5 million.
Yeah, that is
where
a lot of land.
The land is sitting at now, those people that's how much it would be worth to them. And we lost all of that. And everybody else who was supposed to be getting stuff passed on never got it. And the land where it's at now is just like coastal, the people with the big, nice plantation houses and all that. Those were houses that were taken from the other people. All of that land belongs to other people. It's gated communities now, golf courses, restaurants, incredibly valued land, and it's all gone. So I want to, if you have a minute, I would look that up. It's called 40 Acres and a Lie. On there, she gives way more detail about what was going on.
That reminds me of an episode of Family Reunion that was on Netflix, and I think it was in the last season. They were talking about the kids had stumbled across like a deed or something and was talking about how there was a family who had a sick child, and they told the doctor, we had no money, but we can give you this house, and this house will be yours. So the person went and lived in the house. The black person was old, and so they were living in their home for a while, and then out of nowhere, some people from I don't know if the city or some relative was like, this is our house, some white people, and they kicked them out of the house, and then come all the way to where we are today, current day. They're like, that's our property, that's our land, and they were able to redeem it back because it's a show. But it talked about how black people had land given to them, either just willed to them or provided to them. And other people, white people, would come in and be like, this is not a void contract and this is my property.
And then so we were talking about slavery and stuff. I saw this TikTok video where this white guy was out. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but he found a slave tag. And the thing that got me, he was like, oh, this, is an interesting find or whatever. said something and he chuckled, and then he gave an amount of how much it will be worth. For one, what's funny about finding an old slave tag? Nothing's funny about that. Two, why are you calculating the value of what it should be? You're gonna keep it instead of giving it to a museum or something like that. You're gonna profit off of us still today. Still today.
Yeah, it's
Instead of giving it to a museum, you're gonna find some way to sell it to make some money off of it. And it was like for slave number 32, or slave number 32 is what it said, and it had a picture. He held it up once it was cleaned off and everything, and that's fascinating and upsetting all in one. Just because he did find a slave tag after all these years, and the things that they find that we will never know about.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it just brings back so many haunting and horrific things. Like I couldn't imagine, being a slave, like at all. Um, like I would want to go to a plantation, but I also feel like I'm an empath, so that I would feel all that and it would drain me. It would hurt me like so bad.
Yeah.
The second topic that I wanted to talk about is this Young Thug trial. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but it's becoming ridiculous. The Young Thug's attorney and one of the other attorneys and the prosecution and one of the defense attorneys have put in a motion for the judge to recuse himself, because I think last time I told you about there was a secret meeting that was
Right.
held. And so in that meeting, apparently they was making like a whole bunch of like shady deals.
Right.
And the one witness was like, she was an attorney, and she like, I'm recusing myself because I don't want to be a part of this.
I'm
Like, there is
recusing.
no way of this to be caught up in any of this. Is not coming back on me. So now she's trying to make the judge recuse himself. And she's also like, well, since this, I'm going to snitch and tell everything. And she just started naming like the stuff that was going on. And I
Right.
thought that was crazy, because Woody, who is the witness, they tried to tell him that they was going to make him sit in there through all 28 trials, because he kept saying that he wasn't going to testify.
Right.
So they finally told him that if I give you immunity, will you testify? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'll go up there, but I'm not going to tell the truth. So he told them that he was going to lie. And they was like, okay, that's fine. So he gets up on stage, on stand, and you see what he's been doing. He blatantly told them everything that happened in 2015, what I told those lawyers, I lied about. I lied about. I wasn't telling the truth then. I did or said anything that I could to get them from putting me in jail, to get them off my back.
Right.
And this is your main witness. This is your main witness. If he lied, you have no case.
Right.
And then the judge said he's not going to recuse himself. He said he read through everything and he's not going to do it. I don't feel like the judge should have that power to say if he's going to recuse himself or not. I feel like someone else should be over that decision. They said, I need him recused. Oh, let me look at this. He's not doing what he's supposed to. Judge, you need to recuse yourself, instead of it being the judge's decision. He was in there doing the shady stuff.
This has been one hot mess after another. Like
it's day 90 something.
And I'm not trying to be shady because it's a side note, but like, so his girl, I actually listened to her. Her name is Mariah the Scientist. Did you hear? Like, they had leaked audio of like, so when she went to go visit him, like,
a long time ago.
Yeah, they had played the audio clip to be messy, and I was like,
yeah.
I like her, but I didn't need to hear all that.
Girl, yeah, this trial is a mess. And then they be playing his songs in there, and he be jamming and stuff, trying not to, like, man, it's crazy. I I wanted to talk about craziness. Do you know Doubling Down with the Derricos?
No, it sounds like a
Okay.
TV show.
It actually is. It's
Okay.
I guess they were famous off of YouTube. I haven't never watched them. This caught my attention because they have 14 kids.
Together?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
They're getting a divorce. How do you get divorced after 14 kids?
How do you
You ain't
mess up a
leaving me.
woman's womb with that much? You know, it's like the Duggars.
Like, no, you're not leaving me. We're gonna be together forever. Like, and then they're splitting the kids, except for the older ones who who are adults. But he's gonna pay like $1,200 on um, child support, and she's gonna pay all the medical expenses.
I always wonder how
So
that
yeah,
worked. If they split kids, how does payments work? And
yeah, it's crazy. But is that enough? Is that like each child?
Look,
Because
because
you got you splitting the kids, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
right.
I've never gotten child support. I don't know how it works.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, I haven't, but have because workout payment arrangements, I guess you can
Yeah.
say per se.
I
But
mean, he's giving me money, but like as far
like
as getting
child
like
support, you know
child
what I mean?
support, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
I know what you mean.
So yeah, you could not leave me with 14 kids. You done messed up my stuff. Whatever problems we had, we're gonna have to figure this out. Like yeah, who's gonna want somebody who has 14 kids?
Wait, and it's funny you said that because I was just watching some stuff about Kiki Wyatt. She's on baby number 11. She just had her last husband, but guess what? She just got a new boyfriend.
Yeah, like
So they say like everybody was making jokes saying, it's hard to find a man out here, but Kiki Wyatt keep a man and she got 11
man.
kids.
Like
So
what's in her
it's
coochie?
possible.
What's
Yo,
in her coochie? Gold, girl, cause shit.
like it's
We
gold.
talk about kids and stuff, and this is like so totally left. But I was watching before we started. I was watching Miranda and Raven's podcast. They had Miss Pat on there, and
I
so
love
they
Miss
have this
Pat.
little section. I do too. That's the only reason I watch it. I don't listen to Miranda or Raven. You know Raven Simone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they have this little segment called Tea Time, and they had a little teapot, and they have like different subjects in a teapot, and they had her pull one out, and the subject she pulled out was masturbation. She was like, "This is ungodly. She doesn't do that." She was like, "She has never masturbated." She
Miss
was
Pat said
like,
that?
"Yeah." She was like, "She finds that utterly disgusting." She was like, "She's 50 something years old and has never did it, even when she went to jail."
I mean, some people are raised like that, and especially if they're
She
taught
sold
it
crack.
from.
That wasn't how she was raised. She just don't like it.
You were like, she's so crack. I do remember her making those jokes and stuff. I know that
she
she was
talked
telling
about
the
all
truth.
of that doing. She spent a year in jail because of that. She was like, because her niece didn't had the dope good.
Yeah, you were
But
like,
yeah, I
look,
was
she's
like,
so crack.
yeah, so that has nothing to do with nothing. No, she
Right.
just thinks it's nasty, it's dirty. Like she was like, she I guess masturbate a man, but yeah, she ain't doing it to herself.
I mean, to each his own,